Hello everyone, and welcome to my Iconic Goodbyes channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Is Victor holding Sharon and Phyllis? According to spoilers from The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman would go to any length to ensure the happiness of his children and grandkids. Victor has undoubtedly demonstrated this by his intervention in Claire Newman's relationship with Kyle Abbott. Could Victor also be responsible for Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman's disappearance? Victor Newman wants Nick Newman to open his eyes. Victor dislikes the fact that Phyllis and Sharon still have a hold on Nick after all these years. Sharon has recently done some really horrible things, and Nick has stood by her side to protect her. Unfortunately, Sharon's attack targeted Phyllis's family. Sharon believed she killed Heather Stevens and disposed of her body in the water. Phyllis was the one who realized Sharon was implicated and eventually convinced the cops to listen to her. Since then, Nick has been caught between the two of them. Of course, Nick took Sharon's side against Phyllis and continued to quarrel with her. Maybe Victor wants to put an end to all of that. Victor Newman has a soundproof basement, so no one can hear Sharon or Phyllis shouting and raving as they try to escape. Victor could want to teach these two a lesson and force them to solve their own difficulties rather than always coming to Nick and expecting him to make everything right. Can Phyllis and Sharon learn to cooperate and thrive on their own? Is this part of Victor's goal to ensure that everyone in his family is happy and content before something happens to him? What if Victor was determined to get both of these women away from Nick for good so he could go on with his life? Will Nick eventually make it out of the thick of a massive storm? How will the truth be revealed? The only other person who knows about the basement is Michael Baldwin. And old Howard. The basement was intended to be shut to keep outsiders out. Could Victor have opened it up and hidden Phyllis and Sharon inside? Is Victor manipulating the entire scenario to try to entice Summer Newman back into Kyle's arms? Fans know Victor is vicious, and if he believes Phyllis and Sharon are interfering with his goals, he will have no difficulty removing them. Is Victor behind this kidnapping? Will Victor get caught in his web of deception and wind up in jail for his actions? Is this the only time Victor has paid for one of his crimes? Spoilers for The Young and the Restless. Aristotle's alliance with Billy makes sense. The Young and the Restless spoilers show that Billy Abbott believes he is making progress. But is his secret partner an ally or a hidden threat? Sneaking out of his bedroom in the middle of a Parisian night was deliberate. Billy did not want Sally Spectra to know what he was doing or who he was talking to. Meanwhile, Victor Newman assigns his fixer, Michael Baldwin, to learn as much as he can about Aristotle Dumas. So, what was Billy's secret call with this alleged millionaire businessman? Victor Newman despises the Abbotts. Victor's feelings against the Abbotts are much beneath him. He doesn't have to think about Billy Boy, as he calls him, or his brother Jack Abbott. However, all anti-heroes require a foil, or, in this case, foils. So the mustache decided to pursue his exaggerated vengeance against Jack. Victor is convinced that Jack's irresponsible actions in a Genoa City athletic club apartment almost killed Nicky Newman. That is not true. However, Victor believes it and has used the apparent source of contention to resume a war with Jack. For many years, both men maintained a mutually agreed-upon truce. Billy Abbott wants his company back. Billy believes Victor is responsible for his mother selling Chancellor. But he's stubborn like Victor, and that's not true either. Jill Abbott sold Chancellor to Victor as part of a process that began when he sold it to her. As loyal viewers will recall, Victor inherited Chancellor Industries from Catherine Chancellor when she died. Catherine left the company to Victor rather than Jill because she believed he would be a better steward. Catherine first invited Victor to GC to assist her operate the business she inherited after her husband died tragically in the 1970s. Philip Chancellor II's death is still one of the most memorable storylines in the show's history, having ramifications that span decades. So Billy is delusional because he never owned the corporation and is not Chancellor. Aristotle Dumas is coming to town. Aristotle is being promoted to the audience as the next great main character. Alternatively, he could be a supporting cast member who shines briefly before disappearing. It's likely that Aristotle contacted Billy or that Thompson's character sought him out. It makes sense for Billy to travel outside of someone he knows to fight Victor secretly. Assuming the following is true, Billy poses a far greater threat than Victor thinks. When Jack's money is combined with Abbott Media's, a captivating story emerges from the late Midwest winter into spring. YNR spoilers, Nick's impossible choice, can he only save one woman? According to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, a mysterious captor is taking Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers prisoner. Nick Newman, forced to play the game, is becoming increasingly apprehensive despite Sharon's phone call. Could Nick discover the truth but find up in a dire situation where he can only save one woman? Continue reading and let's discuss what could happen next in this scenario. Sharon was pleased that the Jordan and Ian Ward case was finally finished. Sharon is still struggling to find her footing from her previous captivity. Sharon was just starting to feel normal when she was taken again. When Sharon awoke, she discovered that Phyllis was also a captive. Playing the game, the two women have no idea who is doing this to them. This individual has not caused them physical damage. The game appears to be filled with riddles and mysteries, with Phyllis and Sharon undergoing some sort of bizarre talk therapy. The captives have asked the villain to identify themselves, but he keeps insisting it doesn't matter. In addition, the voice is garbled but male, making identification impossible. The goal of the game is to stay alive. Nick Newman's gut instincts. The Young and the Restless spoilers state that Nick had a gut feeling about Sharon last time. Nick appears to have another uneasy feeling regarding Sharon and Phyllis's disappearances. The villain did give Phyllis and Sharon one phone call with a strong warning. While Sharon told Nick a story, he still has a feeling something isn't right. Then, after comparing notes with Daniel Romalotti, Jr., Nick realizes that something is horribly wrong. Josh Griff, Y&R's head writer and executive producer, told TV Insider that Sharon and Phyllis would face a life-or-death crisis. It was noted that both women would have to reconsider their relationship. Fans have previously witnessed Sharon and Phyllis force themselves to collaborate. The women must also confront their past and their negative interactions with one another. Nick may be able to locate the women because he refuses to let up until he has answers. However, what happens when Nick's intervention puts a wrench into the game? What happens if Nick can only save one woman? Which one will he save, Sharon or Phyllis? Spoilers for The Young and the Restless, is Michael the mastermind behind Phyllis and Sharon's game? According to spoilers from The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman were kidnapped simultaneously. Who is responsible for the distorted voice over the speaker when forced to play the game? Could it be Michael Baldwin, who is going to drastic steps to put a stop to the two women's decades-long feud? Continue reading and we'll talk about what could happen next in this story. Phyllis Summers' disappearance. Fans are aware that Phyllis and Sharon disappeared simultaneously. Nobody thought they'd be together because they loathe one another so much. However, indications are emerging, particularly after Phyllis and Sharon called their loved ones. The phone calls were intended to eliminate suspicion. The unknown abductor does not want anyone hunting for Phyllis or Sharon. Sharon Newman's survival skills. Sharon and Phyllis have no idea who their captors are. All that is known is that a distorted male voice is issuing orders. There are riddles to solve, and at one point, the phone was unlocked so they could communicate with loved ones. Nick Newman's gut instincts. Sharon told Nick Newman about her time in Sedona. Sharon also mentioned that she had lost her phone and had to purchase a burner. Sharon also claimed to have sent text messages to Mariah Copeland and Faith Newman, which Nick would later discover was a lie. Despite the fact that the phone conversation was intended to reassure Nick, it has just raised further concerns. Sharon and Phyllis utilized the burner phone and out-of-town excuses within minutes of one another. Michael Baldwin's scheme. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that there are numerous theories as to who is orchestrating the game. One is Victor Newman, but he appears to be engaged with something else at the moment. Some fans feel it's Ian Ward, which is plausible, although it seems overly clear this early in the tale. Could it really be Michael? Michael and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin are tired of Phyllis and Sharon's dispute. The rivalry fueled the court fights, frequent arguing, Phyllis pressuring her friends to take sides, and even the frame-up. Lauren would never approve of a double kidnapping, but Michael has a dark history. Furthermore, the hostages have hot coffee in the morning and aren't exactly suffering. Even if Phyllis enjoys name-calling, the captor has not lost his cool yet. In fact, it appears that the goal here is to teach the women rather than to hurt them. That suggests someone cares about them both. Do you think Michael could be the mysterious captor? Will Phyllis and Sharon be on better terms after this shared experience? YNR spoilers, Jack is unprepared for Victor's sneak attack. Newman and Jabot face off. The Young and the Restless spoilers show that Jack Abbott is not naive. But he is oblivious of Victor Newman's current ambitions. With him functioning as a quasi-don, the head of the Newman family intends to eliminate Jabot. He's having his fixer acquire as much information as possible about the company's current business plans. Meanwhile, Jack believes that his recent Best of Victor from the Glissade Pieces sale provides him the upper hand. It does, but the mustache is enraged and seeks vengeance. Nicky Newman was not nearly dead. Victor cannot let go of his inflated grudge. Indeed, Jack's excessive and impulsive choice to order illegal drugs from his former supplier was completely risky. However, swallowing those medications put Jack's life, not Nicky Newman's, in peril. He did so to elicit a response from the woman he was sponsoring during her most recent episode with booze. Jordan Howard was entirely at blame for placing Nicky in danger, not Jack. Nonetheless, Victor takes advantage of any opportunity to pursue the Abbotts since he has the time. Why else would Genoa City, Wisconsin's wealthiest individual, be concerned about someone, Jack, who is not his financial equal? Billy Abbott working another angle. Billy Abbott was visiting Paris, France, with his new love interest. He did, however, keep Sally Spectra in the dark about his newly formed Abbott media firm. As viewers could see, Billy exited the bedroom and entered the living room to make a late-night phone call. His chat with an unknown ally focused on Chancellor, where Billy was recently demoted in favor of Nicky. It's incorrect to believe that Victor affected his mother, Jill Abbott, too much. Jill chose to sell Chancellor to Victor since Billy mismanaged the firm. Whoever proves to be Billy's secret ally will be essential. If that individual is powerful or valuable, Thompson's character may have the opportunity to regain or hurt Chancellor. Jack Abbott wants good times to continue. Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott worked hard to rebuild their relationship. More recently, they reclaimed control of their son's mind from Victor's malevolent influence. Kyle Abbott joined with Victor after realizing he couldn't work for his mother and Jabot. Kyle returned to co-head Jabot as a result of the Abbotts' peaceful resolution, while his mother selflessly gave up her top position. Jack's gift of Glissade to Diane was a masterstroke. Victor despised both that and the humiliation of Smilin' Jack's fair pounding of him. Victor's increasing emphasis on him, as well as Billy's mysterious goal to exploit Abbott Media, jeopardized Jack's good times. However, if the Abbotts stay united, they may be able to survive anything Victor does. YNR spoilers, Daniel wants an official investigation. Will he get it? According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Daniel Romalotti will visit Chancellor again and request an investigation into his mother's disappearance. However, since Phyllis Summers has already checked in, will Daniel be turned down? Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman have been gone for a few days. However, both of them called their families and informed them that they were out of town. Sharon claims to be in Sedona, while Phyllis says she's looking for investors for Billy Abbott. Unfortunately, no one can contact them because they use burner phones. Daniel is terrified Sharon has taken his mother because of all she has done in recent history, despite the fact that she was intoxicated at the time. Daniel wants to find his mother. He has recently lost his fiancée and cannot bear the thought of losing someone else he cares about. Are Chance's hands tied because Phyllis is an adult? Chancellor wants to help. Chance surely wants to help after he obstructed the entire murder inquiry into Heather Stevens' death. Chance is aware that Summer Newman holds this against him, and he is determined to find and bring Phyllis home. Chance, on the other hand, may require proof that Phyllis was kidnapped before launching an official inquiry, something they now lack. Phyllis gave no indication that she had been kidnapped when she called to let the kids know she was well. Phyllis couldn't find a method to leave a clue without being discovered by her kidnapper. Could the kidnapper let her check in again? Could Phyllis say anything that would alert them to her disappearance? Summer Newman takes things her own way while Daniel attempts to persuade Chance to check into this. Summer takes it upon herself to play detective. Summer will also take advantage of this opportunity to spend alone time with Kyle Abbott by asking him to help her find her mother. Will these two find Phyllis before the cops get to her? Summer and Kyle may be able to glean some information from Phyllis's call and determine her location. However, can Summer and Kyle apprehend the kidnapper and bring them to justice while releasing both women? Could Sharon and Phyllis escape and save themselves before anyone finds them? Will this search bring Summer and Kyle closer together as they work to save Phyllis? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.